Yumika has agreed to be my demo, so thank you so much for that. And she has a beautiful 7-year-old son and would love to have a sibling for him. So hopefully this will help. Timing is really important, as I may have mentioned in other discussions. We want Yumika to be ideally between the end of her menstrual cycle and before she ovulates. And bringing this as close to ovulation is ideal. Many of my clients get this within 2 to 3 days of ovulation. And hopefully they're charting their cycle, which I will talk about later. And if she's menstruating, you definitely don't want to do this. So hopefully your client knows how to chart their cycle. So we've already had that discussion with Yumiko, and it's good to do this now. And we're going to start with a castor oil pack. I like to do the castor oil pack first because it spends a lot of time on her belly while I then go through the other parts of the sequence. I love castor oil. I can speak volumes on it. I've been using it since the 70s. I love Edgar Cayce and all of his work. And castor oil is really quite amazing. It's antimicrobial, antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. It dissolves uterine fibroids. It dissolves ovarian cysts. It helps with endometriosis. It unblocks tubes. Edgar said that it also conducts that healing, psychic, spiritual, whatever you want to call it, that energy work that any of you might be doing. It acts as an amplifier. So it allows that, like copper conducts electricity, he believes that it increases that intensity of healing energy. I've had great success. I've used it on my own body and got rid of uterine fibroids and did not have a hysterectomy as my mother did, which was great. I have used it for many of my students who have had endometriosis. I had one lady told she could not get pregnant in Atlanta, severe endometriosis all the way up into the tubes. And she used the castor oil pack. She did conceive, and the doctor said that when he checked her, he said, "I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it because your endometriosis is almost completely gone."
What kind of time frame are you looking at?
Months. That can take months. And so Edgar said to do it for 3 days, take 3 days off, do it for 3 days, take 3 days off. And you can say that to your clients. I just say do it as often as you can. Try to do it at least 3 times a week. And you can even do it when you're menstruating too. It can increase your blood flow though, so you may not want the heat as much during that time. You can even put castor oil when you're pregnant, but you just don't add the heat. But it's really quite amazing. I had another woman who was told she would never get pregnant. She took the fertility class. She had ovarian cysts, and she got pregnant at 35. Big surprise. Yeah, so it really does work. So we're going to start with a castor oil pack. And so I sell these on my website. It comes in a package like this. And Edgar really believed in wool flannel, but I do cotton flannel. I just like cotton flannel. It's really easy. And I'll be honest with you, this is just a 100% cotton flannel pillowcase. So I buy them in bulk when I can find them. I get my castor oil from a guy in Ohio. It's called CTS Labs Incorporated. And he does cold pressed castor oil, so you want cold pressed. And he's just a great source. I'll pass that on to all of you as well. So we're going to be using castor oil. And then the other thing I give for my clients is I give them a little instructional sheet about it. And one of my students said, "Well, it's just a Ziploc bag, Claire." And I said, "Yep, it is. But it's great for putting the castor oil pack back in." So once you use this pack, Yumiko keeps this. This is hers to use as long as she wants. And you don't launder it ever. You just keep adding castor oil to it. And I do the simplest form of castor oil packs, like Edgar had you heat it on the stove and pour it on the pack. And that's fine, but you know, if you tell your clients to do something that's complicated, they're not doing it. And even us, you know, it's got to be simple to do it in the massage room. So I just lather on castor oil, I warm it in my hands, and I just get quite a liberal amount on her belly. And then we add the cloth, and then I add a hot water bottle. And that's really all I do. I don't do the plastic or anything else. And I don't even clean their belly afterward because it absorbs in. Your bellies become softer with it. So it's really an amazing oil, and I use it a lot. So we're going to take just a moment now and do a breast drape. So And Yumiko has been doing her packs, so that's really, really good. And she's noticing changes in her body with it, which is also very beneficial. And it's going to keep her nice and warm. So when you first get it out, depending upon what your climate is, it's a little cold. So to heat it up, this is what I do. I just hold it in my hands. And then I try to put it on pretty quickly so she doesn't have that sense of, something very cold. We're good?
Yep.
All right. So we're just going to get a nice lathering of it, covering the entire belly, coming down toward the pubic symphysis. So we're getting it over the uterus. You want it over the liver, over the spleen. It's going to support liver cleansing. It's going to support the spleen system and the immune system. It's going to add as a mild lubricant for the large intestine. So any of your clients who have constipation issues, do castor oil packs on them.
PCOS?
PCOS, absolutely. That's ovarian cysts. And that's what the woman who was 35 who conceived, had an ovarian cyst. And they're on the rise, and for lots of possible reasons. So I'll speak more about that at another time. Okay, so you want the pack to cover her entire abdomen. And again, that's why I like, a larger pack, because I'm not a small person myself. She could have a smaller one easily, but you want one that's going to cover you from halfway down the side, so it covers the whole liver all the way over to the spleen, from your xiphoid tip to your pubic symphysis. So it has to cover that entire area. And thank you, Amy. And my clients love this. They think this is just absolutely wonderful. It's so relaxing. And so what I'm going to move to next after I wash my hands is the craniosacral techniques. So that you start with this. As we go through the sequence, this stays on for about 45 minutes.